Hi, friends. So, this is a little different than the stuff that I normally do. Normally, with anime and video games, I write more analytical and unbiased reviews. But I decided to do a first impressions video instead because this is Sailor Moon related, and I know I will be unable to write anything unbiased when it's Sailor Moon related, because I freaking love Sailor Moon. So, I thought I would give my thoughts on the first episode of the new season. I know I'm a few days late, but over the weekend I was at a convention, so I wasn't able to watch the new episode then. I actually watched it yesterday, but I was so tired yesterday from coming back from the convention over the weekend and going to work and stuff. I was just completely wiped, so that's why I did not record this yesterday. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know if you know this, but I've been watching Sailor Moon Crystal like every episode as it comes out, and the last two seasons were okay. I liked that they made some changes that weren't in the manga or the 90s cartoon, like having the inner senshi, their relationship with the four kings? I don't know. I know they're called Shiteno, but I was trying to remember the English name, but I do not. So, yeah, their relationship is now canon. I mean, I wouldn't say that it wasn't canon before, because the creator of Sailor Moon, Naoko Takeuchi, she like drew art of the inner senshi with the Shiteno before. So I guess she kind of intended for them to be lovers or something, but yeah. Anyway, so I liked that they made that more obvious in the previous seasons, even though they killed them off right away. Spoilers. But another thing that I liked was that they made Black Lady more harsh. Like, everyone, I don't know if you've seen that meme floating around, but it's been shared around a lot. They have the Black Lady from the 90s version, like, hugging Luna P, like, oh yeah, I still recognize this, and I love it. And then in the new one, Luna P goes up to her, and she freaking smacks it. It's awesome. I love it. She goes completely evil. So yeah, I like that too. Black Lady's like, yeah, she's my favorite villain from the series. It's really close between her and Mistress Nine, but Black Lady wins it out just by a little bit. The only reason I really like Mistress Nine that much is because she's Sailor Saturn, technically evil, but she doesn't get much screen time, so I can't say that she's my favorite overall. Anyway, so yeah, I had a lot of problems with the past two seasons. While there were a lot of things that I liked, there were a lot of things that I didn't like. A lot of fans have talked about the animation quality of the last two seasons and how it wasn't really up to par, especially with the animation company who's been producing this series. You kind of expect more from them. But I especially didn't like the 3D transformations. They just looked like really plasticky to me and like really stilted. But then whenever I complained about it, like, people were like, oh my gosh, it's 2014. They can do 3D animation if they want. 3D animation is the future, blah blah blah. Well, guess what? It's 2016 now, and they're back to 2D transformations, so suck on that. And they look so much better. I know it's silly to, like, compare two different animation styles, but they really do look better, because the old ones, if you watch them by themselves, they just look really bad. Like, how do I put it? Especially like Sailor Moon's, it looks the worst because the bow just looks so ugly and plastic. Like, it looks like melting plastic. It looks awful. They kind of improved a little bit with Mercury and Mars, but then Jupiter, the effects were cool, but like her face looked really off. Um, Venus's was okay. I kind of liked hers, but yeah, they were just really weird. These look a lot better though, so I'm really glad that they changed back to 2D. I'm assuming that that's just because of fan response, or who knows, maybe it's like artistic liberty or whatever, because they changed the entire animation style. And I kind of like it because another one of my complaints with the past two seasons of Sailor Moon Crystal was that they weren't, the characters weren't as expressive. They were kind of more like dolls than actual characters. Like, in the 90s version, yeah, there were a lot of like filler stuff, but you didn't really mind because of the way they interacted with each other, and the expressions were very dynamic and stuff. Like, they would have like the really big expressions, and their movements would be very like frame by frame and cartoon. Like, it's so hard to explain, but when you watch the new episode of Sailor Moon Crystal, you kind of get a little bit of that back. There's like, when Usagi's reacting to something mean Ray says, it has like the little bunny face like you see in the manga, like looking mad. They didn't have that in the past two seasons of Sailor Moon Crystal, even though it was in the manga and they were trying to be closer to the manga, so like you would expect to see it, but whatever. Sorry, my hair's really messed up. I'm basically recording this like right after I wake up. I did put some makeup on though, so yeah. A lot better than the last vlog I did on this channel where I didn't wear any makeup and I looked awful. So yeah, getting off topic. I like the cartoony expressions and the 2D transformations. They look really good. And I like the new voice actors, particularly Sailor Uranus. I actually had to look up whether it was a man or a woman because, oh my god, that voice is like so androgynous. You're sitting there the whole time like, there's no way they would cast a man in this series because Naoko Takeuchi would throw a freaking fit if they cast a man as one of the Senshi. So I looked it up, and I think it's a woman, either that or it's a transsexual, which would be even cooler because that would be very fitting for the part. But yeah, very, very impressed with that voice, especially during the duet. It was, oh gosh, that ending theme, the duet between Sailor Uranus and Neptune, oh my gosh. Like, it was so powerful. Oh, I love it. So, yeah. That's another thing that I like that they changed. So in the 90s cartoon, a lot of the songs were sung by the voice actresses, and they kind of did that again with this one. I'm not saying I hated the songs from the past two seasons, but they just didn't have that same magic, you know, like, sorry. Moon Pride was, like, I liked the ending theme a lot, but Moon Pride was just kind of but the new songs I like a lot because they totally brought back that tradition of having the voice actresses sing the songs, which is really cool. We don't get that a lot here in America. You don't really have to be able to sing to become a voice actress. I know someone who's an example of that, but I will not name names because she is very popular and I will get a lot of hate. And since I would like to be a voice actress one day, I don't want to start out by saying something negative about someone, you know, kind of bad. But anyway, um, so yeah, I really like that. And they kind of recap. That's what it's called. They recapped it really well, like the past two seasons, because my friend Sean, he kind of has been procrastinating watching it, but I was like, dude, you have to watch the new episode because it fixed like so many of the problems that we both saw in the older episodes. And he's like, okay, I'll have to check it out. So I like that they recapped the events that happened before this point really concisely, so that way people like him, who maybe didn't like the past two seasons that much, the heck, computer, um, could catch up and not feel completely lost. So that was cool. Um, I also like how the brooch now lights up when there's evil around, because in the past two seasons it just felt like she just coincidentally happened to be there whenever a monster was attacking or whatever, which I think is kind of forced. Whereas this one, it gives like a decent explanation for why she's able to stop stuff. Did anyone else notice that they transformed in front of like everyone, even people they knew? They transformed in front of Naruchan and Umino. I'm like, um, do they know that you're Senshi now? Should we talk about this? It was really awkward. I'm like, so you're blowing your cover now? Because even at the end of the battle, there's like a bunch of people gathered around, and Jupiter's all like, hey, you should call an ambulance for this girl. And I'm like, so you just like used your powers in front of all those people, okay? Weren't you afraid that you were gonna like hit someone? Are we Man of Steel now? I don't know. So that kind of bothered me a little, but yeah, I'm just glad that they fixed a lot of the problems that I had with the past two seasons, and I'm really enjoying this so far. I hope they keep it up because um, the third season was my favorite of the 90s cartoons, so maybe it'll be my favorite of Sailor Moon Crystal too. I'm sure it will be because I love the story so much. I'm just hoping that they make Uranus and Neptune a little more friendly in this version, because that was my major complaint with the 90s version. They were like so standoffish and completely opposed to having anyone help them, which is like, it makes sense if you're talking about like normal people, like, yeah, it's too dangerous, you can't help us. But they like turned down Sailor Moon, who showed several times that she was more capable of handling things than they were, and I'm like, why wouldn't you accept her help? I don't know. So maybe they'll make them more friendly this time. I hope there's only like one episode of them refusing and then they accept the help, because I think they did it for like 12 episodes in the old version, and I'm like, please stop dragging it out, just work together, please. So yeah, that was one of the reasons that Uranus is my least favorite Senshi, but maybe that'll turn around with this version. I'm hoping so, because I actually like her more now. She seems more I don't know. In the old one, it seemed like she was like purposely flirting with Usagi, whereas this one, it's just like, we're playing a video game. Oh, Neptune, were you all jealous? Hey. You know, but that's like regular teasing between a couple, so it kind of makes sense and is more charming than like purposely doing it, you know what I mean? So, anyway, I've rambled on for long enough. You all know by now that I love Sailor Moon, so um, if if you're like me and you're like OCD and want to watch the whole thing, then you should. If not, I would recommend only watching season 2 and then up to 3, because I feel like season 2 wasn't as bad as season 1. Season 1 was still trying to find its footing. Season 2 was really, really good because it had better villains and stuff, but yeah. Season 3 is shaping up to look really good so far. So anyway, that's all I have to say on that. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one when I will do an actual analytical review. As I said in my last vlog, I'm going to re-record all of my past reviews because I didn't like my performance in them. I sounded like I was just reading off of a piece of paper, which I don't want. I want to actually do like acting-ish kind of thing, but yeah. So I'll do that, and I know it's been taking me a while to get my first video game review out, but it's coming, so don't worry. I've just been really busy lately with the convention and a funeral and just a bunch of stuff happening in my real life right now, so I haven't had much time for YouTube, which you could probably tell with the absence of uploads as of late. But hopefully this one's interesting. If you want to hear me nerd out more about Sailor Moon, then I could probably make future episodes. Or I could do theory videos, because I do have a theory about 90s Sailor Moon that's kind of dark. I like writing dark theories on anime. But anyway, I'm rambling, so until next time, bye.